Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Life According to Cree, the podcast. It's Tuesday night, so y'all know what time it is. It's time for this week's episode of Cree Said What? Our weekly installment of Life According to Cree, the podcast, where we talk about what's hot, what's new, what's trending, and a little bit of what's not. Okay? So I hope y'all enjoyed the Life According to Cree, the podcast flashback episodes that aired all last month, but I had to step away so that I could be back with y'all right now, even bigger and better than I was before, and give the people what they're asking for. So let's just recap real quick. Life According to Cree, the podcast now airs on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Tuesday, and tonight is Cree Said What. If you don't know what it's all about, by the end of this episode, you definitely will. And I'm sure that you will be back next week. Okay. Thursdays are now tapped in with Cree Thursdays. Thursday nights are the night where we're going to have in-studio guests to talk about different situations, have different conversations. You know what I'm saying? And get different people's points of view. So, hey. If you like a little bit of one, two, you like a little bit, you want to hear somebody else's voice other than mine, you want to hear different opinions, you want to see people that you relate to when you, outside of me, when you tune in to Life According to Cree, Thursday night is the night for you to be there. We have interviews scheduled all this month, and for the month of June, we are focusing on conversations with singles over 40. So whether you're over 40 or under 40, and you just want to know what you may be getting into, Thursday night is going to be the night for you to tap in now. Okay? And then Sundays, as always, are our Sunday life checks. With our Sunday life checks, the Sunday life check is directly connected to our life check challenges and Empower 365 challenges that are located at lifeaccordingtocree.com. The 30-day challenges. If you're following those challenges, Sunday nights are the night where we reinforce the information that is actually in the challenges for a little bit of extra reinforcement to get into the next week and take with you. Okay, so we got Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Cree Said What? Tapped in with Cree. Sunday life check. All right, but now let's get into tonight's episode of Cree Said What, because I had a lot on my mind this week. I saw a lot last week, this week, and last week. And then all over the month, I kept wanting to come online. And record an episode, but I was like, no, you gotta do your due diligence. You gotta get your business affairs in order, sis. You're gonna have to sit down. You got to take your time. You got to get it to where it needs to be. We here now, so let's get into it. This week on Cree Said What, we are gonna talk about how simple it is and how easy it is, especially in this internet age, for people to turn their backs on you and for public opinion to shift on you. It's like 1 minute, everybody. I thought, being an ages baby, right? We were always taught that all it takes is one thing. You can't please everybody, because in the drop of a dime, 10 in a bucket, everybody will be like, you know what? I ain't fooling with her no more. Like, people can love you 1 minute, hate you the next. But the backlash surrounding Mr. Kevin Hart after his recent appearance at the Breakfast Club, I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm not surprised. Then when you get into how people have been tearing into Latto. This woman brought y'all into her home, talking about her current life. The reactions on the internet, the reactions, TikTok and Twitter. Y'all kidding me. And then last night, and I'm probably gonna seem a little too excited about this. But down went Frazier. The Spurs beat OKC in order to advance to the NBA Finals. I can tell y'all real quick. I dislike talking heads when in regards to sports so bad that I watch NBA and NFL games on mute. I watch them on mute. So tell you something. This month of June, the year is talking back. 2026, the year is talking back. There have been a lot of different situations outside of the ones that we're gonna get into tonight that people have absolutely no chill. And it leaves you with the question, do people really support you or do they just support the version that they created in their minds? Let's get into it. Okay, so if it's one thing that is going to spark internet conversations and debates, it's the rap girlies. It is the rap girlies. And mainly when people have that light bulb moment and they remember that the rap girlies have lives, right? They date people, they have kids, they have mamas, daddies, uncles, aunties, sisters, cousins, exes. Once when something happens in their world that actually the light bulb goes off and people remember that, it always sparks debates about dating standards, public relations, their personal relationships. And it always exposes like weird ass emotional connections that people have to celebrities, like all the time. Like it be what we call discourse every time something happens in one of these ladies' lives. So let's get into it about Latto. Let's talk about it. The Latto interview with Nadeska Alexis. Baby, I thought that the interview was absolutely precious. Postpartum Latto, T. See, a lot of y'all could have never. Like you aunties that watch me, a lot of y'all's daughters, nieces, little cousins could have never. I need to see some of y'all postpartum pictures. Because I remember a time where there were some girls that had that snatch back before all the surgery stuff. There were girls that had that snatch back, and then there were some girls where it just completely fell apart. Nothing ever, nothing ever, none of the matter in her body ever. Latto, baby, that snatch back. That girl got that snatch back. Especially taking the fact that she had work done prior to getting pregnant, baby. She snatched back exactly the way a 20-some is supposed to snatch back. But the interview was actually on Apple Music. It's called The Big Mama Interview, and it came out on the I want to say the 29th, Friday. Great interview. She talked about her new album that has dropped. She talked about postpartum announcement regarding her retiring. And for any woman, a man will never know. A man may have witnessed, but a man will never know. But for any woman who has had a baby during our postpartum time, it'd be a lot going on, man. It'd be a lot going on. Especially when you're young. I had my son at 20. I was pregnant at 19, had my son at 20. When you're in that postpartum stage of pregnancy, you have all types of thoughts. You be tired. You be wanting to go back to work. You don't be wanting to go back to work. You be wanting your baby and to be up under your baby and around your baby all the time. You be needing to pray for your baby. It be a lot. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. I said I put on there I was retired because I was tired. Now I tweeted that because I was tired. But baby gonna be back outside. She said she want to be back outside. She want to be back outside with her baby. Have not gotten a chance to listen to the album yet. That's normally something that I do while I'm doing my 9 to 5. Like I cut on something for them 8 hours. I listen to an album from front to back. So I'm gonna pick a day next week in order to do that. But more importantly, I do not understand why the girlies, the rap girlies, get so much criticism for being human. Way more criticism than their male counterparts, especially when it comes to relationships. Specifically with Latto, everybody was rumoring she was dating 21 Savage. So now, so that brought, because this is a little recap for the old people that don't keep up with what's going on. That she was dating 21 Savage. If you don't know who 21 Savage is, please Google it. Please Google it. Google it. Anywho, she was dating 21 Savage. 21 Savage was reportedly a married man. These rumors went on for a few years. No confirmation whatsoever. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. Then she announces, well, no, it was rumored first. People were on body watch. It looked like she gained some weight in her stomach. It was a weird time. That went on for like about 2 months. And then finally it was brought to the forefront that she was in fact pregnant. I can't remember if it was a tweet. Somebody caught a picture of her in the car because there'd be so much AI stuff. You can't really tell what's real, what's fake. I assume anytime they have like a breaking photo, I be assuming that shit fake. And then finally, when she got ready to drop her first single from the album, because as you know, they drop a single before they drop that. When she got ready, that was the big reveal, right? Even though everybody was already talking about her being pregnant. So even though it had been rumored all that time, it wasn't until she chose to do a big reveal via a music video when everybody all of a sudden started calling this woman a bird. Everybody started calling this woman a bird for getting pregnant by her boyfriend. When did getting pregnant by your boyfriend automatically make you dumb? When did that automatically start making you dumb? With as many of you because that was born when your mama and daddy, especially you Gen X, I'm lying. Oh, sorry y'all. But nah, that's that spirit. That ain't lying. Especially you Gen Z. A whole heap of y'all was born from a single mother, a mother who was not married. Your daddy was your mama boyfriend. Your daddy was your mama boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Some of us millennials, our daddy was our mama boyfriend. Hell, even with me. When my mama got pregnant with me, my daddy was my mama boyfriend. My mom and daddy got married in November of 1980. I was born January of 1981. A lot of us, our daddy was our mama boyfriend. Y'all gotta relax. Was your mama was dumb? Cause my mama wasn't dumb. My mama still married. My mama been married 46 years. My daddy ain't never had no another address. So was your mama dumb? I always, when I see some of the takes that people have on these celebrity rap girlies' lives, mostly men. When it's a man, I be like, show me your sister, show me your auntie, show me your mama. You want to get on the internet and talk about these people that you don't know? Let's talk about your own people. Are their stories a little similar? Did they lead kind of similar parallel lives? Were you the product of the very thing that you think is dumb? That's what I be. That's why I be at with it. And by all accounts, right before the interview dropped, the wife posting videos of the blended family. Well, they all cool. They all with it. Kids there, all the things. All the things. Y'all have more of an emotional response to these people on the internet than y'all have to the emotional responses to the people in your damn families. This shit's weird. The shit's weird. You had to go no contact with your mama because of the type of person she was. But you got all the smoke in the world and can have conversations with your own reflection every motherfucking day about a damn celebrity, somebody you don't know. But you just ain't got the patience. You just ain't got it at all for your mama. Fuck out of here. Nonetheless, from Auntie Cree, much love to Latto, the baby daddy, the other kids, the siblings, everybody in the family. Cause all that interview shouldn't have come with anything but congratulations. Backlash. The only thing that was a little iffy about Latto's week last week was when they were trying to pick apart her song lyrics, saying that she was, taking a jab at Cardi. If it was a jab, it was a cute little girl stop jab. Y'all cut it the fuck out. In case you've been up under a rock, you're up under a rock. Kevin Hart had a roast. Now everybody knows that during a roast, historically, these celebrity roasts are not new. They say they premiered on Comedy Central back in the day. Celebrities come on, other celebrities come on, tell jokes about them, and roast them. All of the jokes are negative. All of the jokes are out of this world. All of them are negative. All of them are almost all of them are jaw dropping. This is absolutely nothing new, people. Absolutely nothing new. So when Kevin Hart sat on The Breakfast Club and stated and reinforced that none of this was new, I was not surprised because he is absolutely right. The only people who are shocked by this are people who never knew that there was a such thing as a celebrity roast and or knew that there were, but never ever watched one. That's not where the backlash is coming from. That statement alone that he made, that's not where it came from. Where the backlash comes from, in case you've been up on a rock and you had no idea about any of the jokes, ain't seen none of the clips on TikTok, Facebook, whatever, what have you. The issue is that he defended a joke that was told by a white comedian, in which I will not name. I will not add to the trending of his name. However, by a white comedian who, by all accounts of people who follow or have been made aware previously of his type of comedy, is a racist. Okay? Ain't no allegedly. Is a racist. By the definition of the word, he is a racist. No matter how many right-wing Republicans, Christian evangelicals have gotten online and dismissed certain meanings of words, what they have not done is change the meaning of those words in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Okay? So by all means, this man is a racist. He tells racist, jaw-dropping jokes. Kevin Hart's defense of him telling a George Floyd joke, where he references George Floyd looking up at them and breathing, because I won't tell the joke and I won't insert the joke. His response to that was, "That's what's happening. That's what happens in a roast. That's what the comedians are there to do. The comedians are there to shock and awe." Even when Lauren LaRosa pushed back and was like, "Okay, we get that, but like, you ain't think," because it's not live. Let's be clear. This is not a live event. Like, you didn't think that might have been a little too, for a roast of a black man. Like, she didn't say it, but she said it. Clearly, Kevin Hart does not see color, including his own. And I don't do all that conspiracy theory. He's been blood oath and all that stupid ass that people like to do. I don't do none of that shit. I don't believe none of that shit. There's no secret society of nothing else. My question to people who were shocked at the fact that he didn't throw up the fist and put the smack down on the racist joke and all of that. My question to those people are whenever, from an entertainment space, have you known multimedia mogul Kevin Hart to do anything or present to us anything that was for the culture? If we're honest, when has he ever done that? What movie has he done? Because he's a movie star. He is a movie star. What movie? A movie star that has a full-on production company put all his folks on, you know, whatever, what have you. Which, for some reason, we seem to think that that's something that shows that you really down for your people. When you put your people on, when you come up, you bring them up. That is what you do when you arrive. White folks have done that for centuries. Hence why they are able to be in control and stay in control. They surround themselves with like-minded people who go out into the world and surround themselves with other like-minded people. Hence where we are today. It's not a hard concept. So that's not a being down for the culture. That's being down for you and your own personal growth. If I get on and I can hire all these different people, right? But instead I hire my own people. Yeah, that puts them on, but that keeps me moving forward too. I digress. Let me back up. So I ask y'all, what has this man done and presented out in an entertainment space that was ever for the people? And by the people, I mean black people. I'll wait. And when I pose this question on TikTok, I got things like Soul Plane. So that's it. So that's it. Let me tell you something. That interview that Cat Williams did was a lot. It gave funny. It gave a little chatty patty. It gave a little hater too. It gave a little hater. It gave a little boss. It gave all the things, which was why it was so phenomenal and why it will go down in history. To be completely honest, it's the interview that really put Shannon Sharp's thing, like Club Shay Shay, on, right? But that man wasn't lying on them people. That man wasn't lying on them people. That man ain't had no reason to lie on them people. That man, the thing that's so funny about Cat Williams is that Cat Williams doesn't have to try to be funny. Cat Williams can tell us information and it just be funny because he is funny. That man told no lies about any of them. And he did his big one on Kevin Hart. And a lot of people like, I can't believe he was there at the roast. Why can't you believe he was there at the roast? I'm sure that bag was heavy. That bag was heavier than the Chevy I be carrying on my back. Because why would I not come? Why would I not come? People already know what it is. I don't care we apologize. We're supposed to apologize to what? People already know what it is with him and me. He already knows what I think of him and he knew what I thought of him before the roast. He told no lies. And Kevin Hart got on the Breakfast Club and let all y'all know that he could give zero fucks. He's trying to paint it as he's protecting comedy, but at the end of the day, he don't give a fuck about none of you niggas. What y'all got to say, how y'all feel, he don't care nothing about that. What he cares about is himself. And in his eyes, and other comedians who are also defending it, and defending that joke specifically. If Cheryl Underwood ain't feel no kind of way about them people talking about her deceased husband, that's fine. That's her husband. She gets to say how she feels. If she's not offended, she's not offended. I'm not offended either. But George Floyd's family wasn't a part of the roast. They were not an invited guest. They were not reached out to by said white comedian in regards to his jokes and the jokes that he was going to tell at this black man's roast. Kevin Hart wanted him to come on there and be controversial. He came on there and and was controversial. What y'all need to realize is Kevin Hart is one of those niggas that has arrived and rose above, or at least he thinks so. Somebody will remind him, trust me, has rose above his blackness. He is a comedian. He is a star. He is a family man. He's a businessman. All of those things. He's not just black. And you know, those are the speeches that they give. And I want to tell y'all that this is coming from someone, me personally, who has never cared about a person's color as far as how I interacted with them, whether or not I liked them. Like, I was never the person who walked into the room and said, where the black people at? I've never been that. I've never been that myself. However, no matter where I lived, because I grew up in a military family. So we moved every few years and we always lived on military basis installations, right? We always did. On a military installation, I don't care what city it's in, it's a city within a city. And it was always a multicultural city. So that is the way that I grew up. So I wouldn't go as far as to say I didn't see color, because color, race, nationality was very much on the forefront. Like, people would think if an Asian family man joins the military, or a black man, or a Hispanic man joins the military, then all of a sudden his family is no longer lives within their culture or has their cultural things. It's actually the exact opposite. When it comes to a military family brings their culture and takes their culture everywhere that they go. And it's something that I think that they actually do intentionally. Because while when that man or that woman puts on that uniform, they are now that person, that soldier, that shipmate first. When they leave there and they take that off, they are still black. They are still Asian. They are still. So I grew up not seeing color, but appreciating different nationalities and races and culture in a different way than someone who just experienced it because somebody so and so lived down the street. Because when you're in the military, the person and the family, everybody else who's on this installation, we are all family first. You got our families, and then everybody else who's on that base, we are all family. So I'm not one of those people who will say nothing else matters but my blackness. However, I'm always black first. Kevin Hart is not black first. Kevin Hart is not black first. Kevin Hart is Kevin Hart. I'm sure that his race does not define him. He is Chris Rock. If you want a reference point, he is Chris Rock. He elevated above just going to the black clubs, just being in the black films. He paved his own way. It's Chris Rock. It's Chris Rock. And some people won't admit it. He's actually Eddie Murphy too. He's actually Eddie Murphy too. He's Steve Harvey. He's Steve Harvey. Just because Steve got still talk country use his country accent and all that. That doesn't. He's Steve Harvey. And the internet has gone wild. And I feel like comedy can be comedy. I feel like no matter what type of comedy it is, it's going to and can possibly the jokes can possibly offend a person. It can be offensive even if it's even if you're cracking a joke. How many times have we known people who will say some fucked up shit but say it with a key and put a laugh on it to think, and then we be like, so that bitch that bitch ain't realize that bitch think I don't realize that she was throwing fucking shade just now. So that she said, I, I mean, just in our regular everyday lives. So the notion that comedy, because it's comedy, cannot be offensive is bullshit. It's bullshit, Kevin. It's bullshit to any other comedian of any age that thinks that. It can be offensive to people. And when it's connected to a situation, to a moment in time that sparked so many tears, hurt feelings, um, so much division, so much confusion. When the joke is linked to something that big, that was a national, worldwide event that occurred here. If you're a racist piece of shit, then it don't matter. It's not that big a deal. Comedy is comedy. When you're of like mind with those same people, because of the dollar signs attached to your name, it is definitely not a big deal. But it is a big deal to the people who support you. It is a big deal to the people who buy your tickets. It's a big deal to those people. And you know, I'm not big about Googling people net worth. So clearly Kevin Hart's net worth is high enough now that where he ain't got to tell nobody fucking sorry about nothing, and that's cool. That's cool. But when it comes time, you know, be laid to rest, I just hope that the brother, because ain't no coming back from this. Ain't no coming back from this. Anything that he tries to do for the black community to try to come back for this is going to go completely left. And then he's going to eventually just, you know, fade off into his internal proximity to whiteness that he thinks he has, and it'll all be over and done with. We won't even know when he's coming out with something, because he's not going to come in. He won't even be coming in any more black spaces, because the roast is not a black space. Like him being at like the NBA All-Star, that's like the closest he comes to being in the black space anyway, and that's been for years. That's been for years. And it goes to show, because see, people think that we want, as consumers, as people being entertained, people think that we don't want authenticity, and we do. We always have. And no matter how much AI we might take part in, how much we laugh at certain things, there is still a line. There is a line. And honestly, when it comes to Kevin Hart, I think that as a fan base, me being included, we just got, all we did was get confirmation of what we were already told. And in this climate in the United States, period, we're taking people exactly as they present themselves. We're not giving very much grace. We've had celebrities over the past 2 years, we've had celebrities that we absolutely loved show us faces clearly confirming that they are exactly that motherfucker that the rumor said they were. They are exactly that motherfucker. And with having that happen, leading up to this, baby, Kevin Hart may not be canceled. Because be realistic, how can you really cancel somebody who's probably a billionaire. You can't cancel their life. I know we all be on the internet, and there are people on the internet that think they got that kind of power. You can't bankrupt. You can't bankrupt no bit. Cut it the fuck out. However, why he can't be canceled? There's definitely a stain on that name that'll probably never fully be washed away. Now, I know a lot of y'all are just now getting to know me. You might know me, but you're just getting to actually know me. I'm a basketball stan, okay? Basketball stan, Detroit Pistons fan ever since the 80s. Was at the parades, baby. 87, 88, 89. I love me some basketball. Love me some basketball. And watch it, and I love the grit of basketball. See, some people like the glamour. So they find certain things entertaining. They I'll say this, because I was about to say something. And my homeboy might watch this later and be like, damn, for talking about me. So let me not say it that way. What I will say is this. There are people who are fans of the actual game of basketball, and there are people who are fans of the NBA. Because those are two different things. I, my friends, am a fan of basketball. And I watch the NBA and WNBA. Okay? There is a difference. So I'm going to tell you my takes as far as things that go on in the NBA and the WNBA are never going to be probably the popular take. Never, ever, ever. Cause I'm a fan of the X's and O's. I'm not a fan of the fanfare. Okay? That's why you will never, ever, 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 ever hear me say that Caitlin Clark is the face or the best player in the WNBA. Because hell, she's not even the best damn player on her own damn team. And it is also why I would have never rooted for OKC over the grit and the grind of this year's San Antonio Spurs. I'm not even a Spurs fan. I am a Detroit Pistons fan. I was a little sad. Cleveland got up out of there. Cleveland got out of there. I'm just gonna say this with a couple of adjustments. And if my boys, whatever their pregame is, I need them to start at 30 minutes earlier. I need Detroit nephews, whatever y'all doing pregame, I need y'all to start at 30 minutes earlier. That way, by the time the ball is tipped off, we ready. The late starts ain't gonna work. The late starts ain't gonna work. We're gonna be on the same path. We're gonna be stuck. If y'all don't make that adjustment. That's the only real complaint I got. I know one more guaranteed score would be good. But I'll work with what we got. If we can just start that pregame, whatever it is. I got my own assumptions, whatever it is, a little bit earlier. Nonetheless, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that round. We are talking about the San Antonio Spurs pulling out the Game 7 win. What I will say, watching them during this round, because I did not watch their games until this round. Okay, I did not watch their games. With the time slots go, I be having to go to bed. Okay, but I did watch this series. I did watch this series because I want to know who was going to the finals. Duh. There was no point where they did not appear unified. There was no point where it ever appeared that they were unraveling. Did they have bad games? Yes. Did they have some up and down performances from different stars on the team? Yes. Did it ever look like they wasn't going to be able to do it? Hell no. It never looked like they couldn't beat OKC. I don't care how many of the you know, sports announcers, casters, whatever they had to say, it never looked like they couldn't beat OKC. Argue with your bald head ass. It never looked like that. And because I am a fan of basketball, though I've never been a fan of the Spurs, I am a fan of pop. I'm a fan of pop. And for them to lock in, Shea, let me tell you something. Shea did everything he could. OKC not winning that game had absolutely nothing to do with Shea. Now, do I think that it solidifies him and him winning the MVP? Absolutely motherfucking not. Because when it's just you, it's just you. When it's just you, it's just you. Is he an awesome fucking player? When he locks in and he don't be on his own bullshit, when he don't be on his own bullshit, trying to not have to play hard. Because that's the thing, y'all was complaining about the flopping and all that, but he does that so that he doesn't have to play hard. That's a decision. That's a choice. That's why I can't stand it. It's not because his stupid ass is flying across the floor and could possibly twist his own damn ankle or hurt his own damn tailbone or something or hip or something. Laying wrong, fuck up his wrist. That ain't why. Those are all problematic, but that's not why. My issue with the way that Shea plays is that he does it in order to not have to fucking play. And as a fan of the game of basketball, I don't like that shit in the NBA. I've never liked that shit in the NBA. One of the reasons why I can't stand LeBron to this day is his big 260-pound, six whatever ass, built up muscular ass flopping the fuck around so that he can get to the line and not have to show up and play. Shea was choosing all season long for 2 fucking seasons, choosing when he wanted to put it on the floor and when he didn't. And because he went into this series that way, it allowed for the players around him not to have the momentum and the actual, what's the word that I want to use? To not feel confident enough in themselves that they could produce what needed to be produced in order for them to win those games. Like, yeah, Chet showed up again. Yeah, because that's going to happen. These are all professional basketball players. Like, a role player having a good game should not be motherfuckers in the NBA. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. Is have good games. Hence why they're a role player in the NBA in the first place. But Shea thinking that he could get through the playoffs the same way he got through the playoffs into a championship last year, playing different people with different squads, is the reason why they asked at home. And the game ended with a dunk in their own motherfucking gym. I always be like, ew, when the people lose in their own gym. It'd be because damn, you lost in your own gym. It'd be because these people like to celebrate on your floor. Let me tell you something. I coached high school basketball for 12 years. One thing ain't nobody gonna do, if them girls ain't know nothing else, what we not gonna allow nobody to do is be able to think they can cut the fucking fool on our floor. This is our motherfucking gym. I wish they might go on our logo, between our legs. Man, I always feel bad for the people when they're losing their own shit. But shouts out to the San Antonio Spurs. They earned it. You can argue back and forth about calls, when calls are made, when calls ain't made, who they made for, who they not made for. You can argue that until the cows come home. We've been arguing that ever since I've been a little kid in the 80s. Y'all ain't having no new arguments. Ain't no new discourse that has always been around. Just that now, instead of us just talking about it in the barbershop when we going out to eat, when we sitting around our families, we can have those conversations on the internet with complete strangers. That's the only thing that changed. Referees ain't never been shit. My daddy cussed out a referee at one of my sixth grade basketball games because the referee called a side out rule incorrectly. Gave a side out call wrong. When I was in sixth grade. Let me see, I was 12, so that would have been 1993. Yeah, so none of this stuff on no level is new. I'm telling you. Okay, so before I get out of here, I know that there's a lot of people who do not keep up with the current events going on in our country, right? It's overwhelming. It's too much. There's always something. I don't understand it. I don't know enough about it to even follow to catch up to know where I need to be. So let me give y'all this real life recap. Here are just a few things that you need to know right now. And I'm gonna refer over here to my handy dandy notebook to make sure that I give y'all this shit. Okay? Okay? A lot happened last week in our U.S. government. So the Department of Justice, the Justice Department, push to lift an injunction regarding that damn White House damn ballroom. Now, in case you haven't been keeping up, the ballroom, according to the White House, is not only going to be a ballroom, but also a bunker style development for the president, the president's cabinet, and their security. Something that is already in the White House. Something that is already in the White House. That low key, it seems like they're exposing where exactly it fucking is, and that's why it was up under the East Wing, and that's why they're trying to build the ballroom over the East Wing. So it's not something new that they're creating. It's something that they want to build on top of the safe space that we already had for our presidents. Right. But the DOJ is in full swing to try to get that to go through. We don't know how that's gonna turn out. Every time Donald Trump pretty much moves in a way where I'm gonna go ahead and do some shit, and I'm gonna see who the fuck gonna stop me. And then he ends up arguing back and forth. Trump told all these mofos they better redistrict they damn states. He wants all the states red. Alabama and South Carolina said kiss our ass. Alabama and South Carolina said, we here with these people. We know that you really truly don't give a fuck about these people. We live around these people. We not doing that shit. You're going to have to come down here. You're going to come down here and drop your balls if that's what you want down here. In other news, federal judge says, get your name off them people building. Y'all remember when he put his name on the John F. Kennedy Center? The center ain't been able to make no money since. In true Trump style, in true Trump fashion, he put his name on something and it immediately begins to fail. I would never understand for the black or the white folks or any race of folks, if anybody ever thinking that he was the answer to being broke. And last but not least, y'all heard about the 1.776? Yes, and that would be 1776. The $1.776 billion anti-weaponization fund that Trump and his cabinet introduced, it I can't even really hold myself to even say it, because basically it's a fund that they've come up with of 1776 billion dollars in order, say, to be awarded to anybody who feels like they were wronged by the Biden administration. I'm assuming. It's not even assuming, because everything that he has to do, well, Biden, Obama, Clinton, Bush, because these are presidents that were no presidents during most of our lifetimes. If you felt wrong by any of these people, then they're gonna set up a website. You could go on there, put in your information, and then they said that it would be, it'll be, your claim will be reviewed, and then you can get a portion of this $1.776 billion, 1776. Oh, and the thing is, I know there are people backwoods, rotten my dusty skin, boogerfoot people who don't have bathtubs and only bathe once a week so they can wash the bugs out their hair. I know some of them that are waiting. That are waiting. We are talking about 1.8 billion in taxpayer money. 1.8 billion in taxpayer money being set aside for people who say that they have been done wrong. And before anybody could really explain who qualifies for real, who decides and who gets the money, like a judge, actually stepped in the way and was like, y'all can't do it. But see, when you look crazy, you don't really realize what it really is. You don't realize what it really is. A lot of you were fooled into believing that Donald Trump gave y'all the stimulus packages that you all received during COVID. He actually fooled himself to believe that he did that also, because the agreement that he made with the Democrats that were in office at the time was that the only way that he would sign off on it for Congress is if his name was written on the paper checks that some people got. Because I didn't get no paper check. I don't deal in them. You know how, I ain't gonna say that. Let me not judge people. But I don't know the last time that I got a paper check for anything. I don't know the last time whatever funds I was getting wasn't direct deposited, honey. And because that went through without a hitch, Donald Trump actually believed that he could just go up there and say, I'm gonna take $1.8 billion of taxpayer money and I'm gonna pay it out to people from January 6th. Reparations. He didn't give that Doge money. He didn't give the tariff stipend money. Because I think the MAGA, I think he owed MAGA about 5,000 at this point. But he planned on giving them, but now he plans on giving them a piece of 1.76 billion dollars. Get the fuck out of here. But before MAGA could even get hyped to it, a judge came through and said, "You about to do what? You about to do what? You can't do that." Yeah, U.S. District Judge Leonie Brinkman came through and was like, nah, homie. She has temporarily blocked the government from setting up the fund, from even setting it up, which is probably not even actually set up anyway. You know, he loves selling y'all MAGA people, and you ignorant, always want something for free Negroes, some shit. He loves selling y'all some bullshit and he never coming through, right? But It's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporarily stopped. It's temporarily stopped. Say, and the timing and connection to Trump's IRS lawsuit makes it suspicious as hell because the fund came out of a settlement related to Trump's lawsuit over the leaked tax records. But the money was not just for Trump personally. It was designed for a broader group of claimants who also were a part of the suit for their tax records being leaked. It wasn't just a Donald Trump thing. It wasn't just a Donald Trump thing. So he's just gonna steal them. He's just gonna steal all them people money, baby. But the bigger issue is accountability. Um, Whether people support Trump or not, the public deserves to know how nearly $1.8 billion is going to be distributed, who qualifies, and who's going to be the one to oversee it. So, what y'all think? Hit me in the comments. What y'all think? Do you think the fund is a way to make people think that they were the ones that think they were targeted to like get them a little coins in their pockets, kind of sway their votes, make them forget about the fact that they've been broke since January? What y'all think? And just a little point to with them. Money can't be signed off on. Money can't be signed off on without Congress. Just a little FYI. That's it, y'all. Whether you're Kevin Hart, Latto, the Spurs, or an everyday person trying to build a life, eventually the noise fades and the results speak for themselves. It comes to a point where you know that no matter what, somebody is going to have something to say. You can say don't give them a reason, but when you don't give them a reason, guess what they do? They make up a reason. Kevin Hart gave him a reason. Latto is literally living her 20-some-year-old life. Beautifully, by the way. Beautifully. The results speak for themselves, and when they do, whether those results are good or bad, you have to decide whether you're living for approval or living in your truth. So, thank you all for tuning in with me this Tuesday night. It feels good to be back in my chair, in my space. I actually love this. I love this. Make sure that you tune in on Thursday for our very first episode of Tapped In with Cree, where I will have a special guest in for the episode. Make sure that you check out the teasers that are coming. Like I said, our dating series for June is dating over 40, summer dating conversations. So make sure that you tune in. As always, this podcast is available on all platforms that have podcasting. So check me out from YouTube, the Patreon. I am there, baby. Life According to Cree, the podcast. It's there. It's there. And don't forget to make sure that you check us out on Sundays. Make sure that you get on over to lifeaccordingtocree.com first. Check out the June monthly Empower 365 and Life Check challenges. Make sure you check that out first, because that's the only way that what we talk about on Sunday gonna make sense. Only way it gonna make sense. The challenge starts on tomorrow. It starts on tomorrow, so make sure that you check in and tap in at lifeaccordingtocree.com. And as always, loving yourself first is not selfish. Learning how to love yourself first is a way in order to learn how to love on others better. This is Cree Cole. See y'all next time. Bye.